Wrapped up here at Dover with Chippenham manager Gary Horgan. Gary, a 1-1 draw in the end. It's a point on the road. Probably would have taken that before the game, but an air of disappointment about that result in the end.
Yeah, of course. Look, we'd have definitely taken a point, at the start of the day. But we're disappointed because really, they've apart from sort of ball into the box, corners and set pieces from fouls and whatever, they've not really created an awful lot. And they've had 10 men for a large part of the game. I didn't think we controlled the ball well enough in possession to stop that threat. So yeah, that's really disappointing from that perspective. But positive thing is that we needed to stop the streak. We've done that today. So yeah, from that perspective, really happy.
Obviously, the issue you were alluding to earlier on, Lee Martin sent off for a second yellow card, a foul on Tom Mayhew on the edge of the area. Thought during that time, we were controlling the attacking impetus quite well, and rightfully went 1-0 up through Will Tizard.
Yeah, look, the sending off sort of changed the game a tiny bit. Sort of it meant, like I said, that probably affected us more than it probably affected them. If I'm honest, as the cliche goes, sometimes it's more difficult to play against 10. So up until that point, we were in control. Like you say, 1-0 up. But yeah, from there, like I said, I thought we'd go on to dominate the ball second half because as I said, once we got into the game, we'd done that first half. So. A little bit disappointed with that we haven't controlled the ball well enough in the second half, as I've said.
And obviously the goal came from Dover in the end from a corner that you've just alluded to there. A succession of corners actually wherein that Dover were sort of mounting a little bit of a pressure. They knew they needed to do something being 1-0 down at home, and in the end I didn't see quite how the goal went in, but it sort of skipped up off a defender and was nodded in by Alfie Pavey. We can't leave alone in there.
Look, again, it's all of us as a group, being more ruthless in both boxes again today. We've watched it back. The setup wasn't quite right. It's not the setup that we normally have. So somebody's vacated a space, and it's a space that never gets vacated. So that's poor from us. And then again, we're favourites to clear the ball. There's no one around. There's no one around the defender. We can just clear the ball. Mistimes it, and from there they punish the mistake really. So and then at the other end we have a chance to go and win in the game right near the end, and we haven't made the best of it. So we need to be slightly better in both boxes. We know that. Everything that we look at tells us that as well, and I'm sure those that have made the trip down here today have seen that as well. But like I said, the positives are we had to stop the streak. We've done that. We've got a point on the road at a difficult place. I think they're one unbeaten in 9. For us it was more about getting a positive result here today, and we've done that with 1 point.
Good to see the squad rotation in again today, Gary. Obviously seem quite confident in that in the formation in which we're set out at the moment. It looks really good, expressive and expansive football across the park. It must be really reassuring for yourself as a gaffer to know that you can lean on that bench a little bit now, and with players to come back in like Faz and Youngie, Kane not featuring today, Harvey not featuring today. All signs point well to Tuesday night and a fresh group to come in and hopefully give Havant a real good game.
Yeah, let's hope so. Like I said, we had some tired legs on Tuesday. Having had a really good first half performance to go 2-0 up, and then maybe, like I said, a couple flagged a little bit in terms of fatigue. We wanted to make a couple of changes today. Tuesday will be 4 games in 10 days, and that's tough. And not just 4 games in 10 days. The schedule we've got are probably the furthest trips that you can have. To have Dover, Hastings away in the trophy, Eastbourne on top of that with a Cheshunt thrown in the middle of the week, where, like I said, we have players get back in at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's non-league football, so we have to deal with that. And I think, like I said, we've dealt with it well. As you can see, the changes that came in today didn't affect us. We were able to rest Spence today, as I said. So that will hopefully give us a fresh Spencer Hamilton going into Tuesday, and hopefully we'll have a couple more fresh players as well. But I think the key thing that you mentioned there is like I say, we're still without Faz. I think they make much of a difference at the top end of the pitch, and Jordan Young as well. We're looking at certainly Youngie's sort of stats and what we know, he's one of the best forwards in the league. So we're without those two at the moment. It gives us obviously an obvious threat at the other end of the field. So yeah, hopefully we can get everybody back, and like I say, we can make the most of it.
Tuesday, Gary, Havant and Waterlooville, a whole new set of problems, a whole new threat from the opposition to come to. But you've got a good record against Havant and Waterlooville, Gary.
I don't know whether I have or haven't really, to be honest. But yeah, look, it's another game that we've got to try and get a positive result in. So we're at home. Someone told me on the way up on the coach today that we haven't played a home game on a Saturday since Hungerford. So I think that was way back in tail end of August. It feels like we haven't played many games. We've certainly played at home in the Cup, I know, and maybe the one game against Hamilton the other week, so it'd be nice. I know we've got a run of, we're not really looking past obviously Tuesday, but we've got a run of 6 home games in January. So it feels like we could do with those right now. But yeah, another tough game, another set of problems, as you said. Going really, really well. Good side, and so they should be. So yeah, it's a test that that we'll certainly prepare for and hopefully be up for.
And obviously we won't drag him in front of the camera today because I know we've got a long way to go, but special mention for Will Tizard, first goal for the club today. Coming back in, actually one of the changes at the back that came through, and I thought it was a fairly accomplished performance from the young man, and obviously took his goal very well.
Yeah, as we've already alluded to, we're comfortable. I'm comfortable playing any of the lads that we've got, centre halves in all of the units. I think we've got great competition for places. We're having to use, a number of bodies because that's just the case. We don't just leave people out, without reason. There's good reason for that. And like I said, some of them have said that they've got some tired legs, and they probably have. Particularly after, like I said, the Lincoln game, that brings the added pressures of not just the game, but some nervous energy that you expend in those types of games as well. But yeah, I thought Tiz was good. As I said, I thought Callum Gunner did really well again. It was good on Tuesday night. So there's some really good performances all over. Joe Hanks came back in, Tom Mayhew came back in, and at the times we were controlling possession really, really well. If I'm being overly critical, I think we probably didn't pass the ball with enough purpose. Second half, I was a bit disappointed. We asked them to keep the ball well and be patient, but I just don't think we passed it with enough purpose second half. But yeah, as I said, ultimately really good point.
Well, Gaz, it's getting a bit lively in here now. Obviously, they're setting up for a function here at Dover, and you've got a long way to go. But it's a good point on the road, Gary. Congratulations from all of us here. We go again Tuesday, and well done for stopping the rot, as it were. And fingers crossed for Tuesday night.
Cheers.